Hello and welcome to Be Here Now, where presence invites perspective and allows peace. We are live on the newstreamingnetwork.com, WGSN-DB Going Solo Network Radio, TV, and podcast. This is the #1 internet singles talk network, Peaceful Empowerment Work Show. If you enjoy our content, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Today's topic, nothing in my life makes sense. Now what? I am your co-host, Judy Forder, and I am here with my co-host in peace and recovery, Miss
Janice Leonard. Yay! So great to be here. Thanks
Welcome
everybody
back,
for watching.
Janice.
Yay! I'm back and I got a shoulder thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so
for anybody who's watching for the first time, recovery is from shoulder surgery.
well, are we being honest? We are being our authentic selves here, right? So
We are.
there's a lot of recovery going on here. Especially today, my shoulder. So Judy and I, we do this every week. We want to share our recovery, or actually our journeys. Same thing. Our journeys into well-being and wholeness and peace and unconditional love for ourselves and learning it to have it for everybody else. We are part of a 501c3. And that means that you can donate to us and write it off on your taxes. So if you're able to, you can just subscribe, like Judy said, or you can donate to us. And we have a website, www.peacefulempowermentworks.org. And if you go there, we have a donate button on the top, one on the bottom, and we appreciate any support that you can able to give us. And now we're back to, well, actually not for the next couple weeks, but making t-shirts for just my thank you gift. If you donate $25 or more, I'll make you a t-shirt. If it's $30 or more, I'll give you the long sleeve t-shirt. You see, I got the thing on it. Hey, I write stuff on it. And we have our logo, which I have not tried to download yet, but we'll put that on it. And if you do $50 or more, I get some sweatshirts. So just email us at peacefulempowermentworks@gmail.com and tell me your size, address, and favorite color, and we'll see what we can do to set you up. Thank you. Appreciate anything you can do.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. Janice is going to need a couple weeks off.
For making shirts. I'll be here, but not. Well, surgery was last Thursday, so there's no way I could have been here. But
yeah. No way.
Anyone who has collar, rotator cuff issues, rotator cuff, you can feel my pain.
Yes, and a torn bicep. They found out when they got in there.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Fun. Anyways,
it was a lot.
I never realized how much I needed or how often I use my left hand. Just saying. So today, my early gratitude for the show is my left arm, which I've never really appreciated. I'm extremely right-handed, and I always think, I couldn't do anything with my left hand if anything happened to my right. But I do fine with my left, being incapacitated. But no, I'm grateful for my left arm.
I love it. I love it. Now, with your right arm, are you able to bring us in?
I set it up on the right side.
Awesome. All right, everybody take a deep breath in through your nose. It's interesting because having an arm strapped to your body and you being limited in what you can do really does open the world up to how many things we do take for granted. And Janice and I were laughing prior to because she couldn't hit Control Enter on her keyboard. Something as simple as that.
I was trying to Control Enter, but it's a laptop, so it doesn't have like the regular Enter button. I have to go like that, so I couldn't go like Control, because heaven forbid I see. I copied and pasted it.
Yeah, the little things become very obvious, and we find ourselves filled with gratitude. Uh-oh, we can't hear you. Did you turn your mic off? Oh, no. We lost Janice for a minute. Her mic went out. Okay, so while Janice is getting that all fixed, we're going to go ahead and go to an attitude of gratitude. Attitude of gratitude. This week, Janice selected a story about a man and a young boy. At just 11 years old, his adopted parents left him at a hospital and never came back. His birth family had abandoned him at the age of 2, and now he faced rejection again. I got a call from my social worker, said Peter. Can you take in an 11-year-old boy just for the weekend? They told me his story, and I was heartbroken. No one else could take him. He would be sent to a group home. Peter couldn't let that happen. He brought the boy home just for the weekend, or so he thought. But that weekend became something much bigger. One day, the boy looked up and asked softly, Mr. Peter, can I call you my dad? Peter broke down in tears. That moment changed both of their lives forever. Today, Peter is a proud single father, proving that family isn't about blood. It's about love, choice, and the courage to stay. So, that's a beautiful story. That's a beautiful story. And we have a lot of people out there that are adopted parents, that are grandparents raising grandchildren, aunts and uncles raising nieces and nephews. So this is just a beautiful reminder that especially kids, when kids are in need, there are people out there that can help. And I feel like Peter learned that he had a much bigger capacity to love than what he gave himself credit for. And this beautiful little boy was able to teach him that. So Janice said she was grateful for her left hand, which I can understand. I am grateful for Janice being able to return and her dealing with a limited amount of pain. I mean, she went through a pretty extensive surgery for repairing her shoulder and bicep. And the fact that she isn't in a lot of pain, I am very grateful for. And as far as my life, I am grateful to have the flexibility where I could take off last Friday and go spend the day with my kid. So that's my grateful for this week. Hopefully I'll be even more grateful when Janice returns successfully. So we're going to go ahead and move right along to Janice's good news story she selected for this week. And if you are watching this show, you may recognize this gentleman in the picture. It is the actor Keanu Reeves. And it's a story about him. I've heard a lot of different stories about this guy and how he's a real stand-up kind of dude and does a lot of good things and chooses to stay out of the limelight. He doesn't do it for the accolades and the attention. He just does it because I feel like he's got a good heart. So apparently this story, in March 2019, when a flight to Los Angeles was forced to land in Bakersfield, passengers were left stranded with no clear way home. While most celebrities would have slipped away, Keanu Reeves stayed. Instead of arranging a private ride, he helped organize a shared van, climbed in with everyone else, and turned the long desert drive into something special. Up front, he shared Bakerfield's trivia, suggested songs, sang along to classic rock, and asked each passenger about their lives with genuine interest. He carried luggage, encouraged a young woman headed to a job interview, and made every person feel valued. By the time they reached LA, it felt less like a delay and more like a road trip with a friend. No autographs, no fanfare, just Keanu quietly slipping away, leaving behind proof that true greatness isn't fame, but kindness. And I love that quote. True greatness isn't fame, but kindness. That makes my heart feel good. You know, we don't get into a lot of political things here, but the reality of the government shutdown and things like that, I know in my community, and I'm sure Janice is seeing it in hers as well, where there are people struggling to buy food for their families. We have had a lot of local community businesses and farms come together to support people in need. And there's no shaming, there's no blaming, there's no judgment. It's, we have it, here it is. If you need it, come get it. And it's been such a beautiful thing to see. Such a beautiful thing to see. And those that are seeing us can see that Janice is back, but we still can't hear her yet.
Can you hear me now?
There she is.
Hey! Oh my gosh.
She's back.
You know, instead of all these fancy attachments, I just finally just unplugged everything and said I'm going with my laptop. Phew.
Awesome. You are back. That's the important thing.
Well, I have to now comment on my stories, of course.
Yes.
Especially the first one. Michael Mutabi, I can't even know if I'm saying his name right, but let me pull up my thing. She read the story, but I'll tell you now what it means to me.
Mm-hmm.
What this means to me is he was like one of the first people that I had on the story when I started the show,
Mm-hmm.
because his story is he grew up in Africa and was terribly abused by his father, left and thought he was nothing. And then until someone found him and helped him feel like he's something. And it was such a touching story. And of course we adopted my step granddaughter. So I have a foster parent, but his story in itself is believing that he was valueless. He had no value and meant nothing into his current life. And his commitment to now he just wants to be a foster father. And let me tell you, foster parenting is hard. So that's why it was under my gratitude, because I have such gratitude, appreciation for people who can foster. I mean, you get kids who are in the middle of trauma.
Yeah.
When you're a foster parent, and they can act out, they can act in, you are amazing if you can take in and help a foster child, whether it's just a day, a weekend, a week, or until. And what happens secondly is the goal, at least here in Vermont, is to reconnect the families, to get back together. So you're not even necessarily driving, because you're a foster parent. So legally, the state has custody, not you. And so you can't even go. Like here, you want to go to the next state to shop, which we do all the time. You can't go out of state without written permission. So you can't bring your child shopping. It's that uptight. But and you're trying to bring them to visit their parents, and then that will escalate them again, or bring out all the. Oh my gosh! Thank you. I can't say thank you enough. I tell you, the hardest time in my life was, I don't know if it was the hardest. One of the hardest. Let's just say that. Was that period of time when we were trying to reunite my granddaughter with her birth parents. That was awful.
Right.
So, because you're trying to protect them and take care of them, but you don't have control to do that.
Right.
And then you have to deal with the consequences. It's not like the parents dealing with the consequences, because then you go pick them up and you have it. So again, sorry. I meant that to be a gratitude story. Yeah, okay, it is.
Yeah,
because amen to anybody and everybody who is able to do that.
Yeah.
You're not perfect. You don't have to be perfect, because that's the thing, as I want to say. I could tell you all the things I did wrong when I was trying to do that. But I tell you, making it through with an open, loving heart, I think is a good enough accomplishment. Well, to the child anyway, because you probably might not end up feeling that way about the parents afterwards, but
it's challenging. And when you can recognize that everyone involved has been traumatized and wounded, and hold that love for all parties, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So that's the first story that I ever put on the show. Was
Mhm.
I think it was is Peter's story, the foster dad, and I tried to explain what the son's story was because and he has a book. It's I Am Somebody or something. Peter has written a book, and I read
Mhm.
that. It's really amazing too. So Peter, I know. I suppose we could put that back on after, but that'll probably be in our notes or something. We'll put it in the notes. There we go. We'll put his name. He's written a book. Actually, I think his second book's come out recently.
Okay.
So anything to support him and what he's doing, and bless him. Bless everybody who can do this. Okay.
Absolutely. Right on. I love it.
But that's also news that's positive, so that's good. But Keanu Reeves, which was the next one, you hear stories about Keanu Reeves just once in a while, and you're wherever you're going, and he's just to be a movie star, famous, really rich, all these things, and to be able to be so down to earth and to help the regular people. That's the thing that really is amazing with him.
Yeah, I love that. And I feel like there's probably more celebrities out there that do things like that, but because it's not about the sound bites and the photo ops and all that kind of stuff, it goes under the under the radar, which is exactly where they want it.
Yeah.
It shows a bit of humility.
Yeah. It's great. Yeah, really, really nice. And the things I've seen videos of him, like just walking down the street and getting on his motorcycle.
Mhm.
And people, of course, you don't think someone it's going like that's just going to be alone walking down the street. So he seemed to get away with it until I think someone crashed into his motorcycle. Yeah, someone crashed into that was the video. They obviously would have probably caught him if something traumatic hadn't happened, right?
Oh, all right. Well, let's see. It's funny because I was thinking, what good news do you have in your life, which you've already shared, which is you have successfully made it through your shoulder surgery and you are relatively pain medication free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think about the pain after the surgery. I was thinking about the pain trying to build up the muscle and the movement again. I was thinking about that. That's why I was like, well, I can face that. I can do that. But then the night before surgery, my brother's had rotator cuff surgery. I talked to him and he says, oh, I don't remember. His wife got on the phone and said, he doesn't remember. I remember. She says, blah, 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 blah. He was in so much pain. So then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be in so much pain. So what I didn't, they put a block in. They put a nerve block in. So I didn't feel anything the first 2 days. Then, it slowly came back, and then it was nothing compared to what I imagined. So I'm very grateful.
That is good news.
Yes.
She's like, very good news.
She says, I slept on the floor next to him. And kept the timer, so I give him his pain meds every few hours. I'm like, oh, my husband's never going to sleep on the floor next to me. That ain't happened in my house.
It's making me think of the videos of the men.
Oh, who's not being shown now? Is this time Silverio? Is this time? Am I here?
There you are.
Okay.
Okay.
I disappeared? I didn't know it disappeared.
We have some weird technical things going on.
Woo!
But of those videos of the guys in those period cramp simulations where they barely even turn the ampage up.
Oh, we got a message from Laura from the screen. I wish you smooth healing, Janice. Thank you, Laura. That's sweet. I appreciate it.
That's my sister, Laura.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, those videos always crack me up because you barely even turn the ampage on and they're like, oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. They have,
it's hard to, it's hard to know.
Of the men, but we tolerate a lot more pain than what they realize.
I'm like, oh my gosh, is it men? Is it my husband? So then when he is he gets leg cramps, really bad leg cramps, which I've gotten really bad leg cramps too. So I know they can be really painful, but I don't know. It seems like his are, painful. So I never know. Dial it down a little to compare it. Well, this is his reality. So that's his reality. Don't judge it, Janice. That's
Exactly. Perfect. Don't judge it.
That's right.
All right. I feel like this is a great place for us to take a commercial break. And when we get back, we'll dive into pathways to peace. Nothing in my life makes sense. Now what?
Okay. Thank you.
Hello and welcome back to Be Here Now, where presence invites perspective and allows peace. Today's topic, nothing in my life makes sense. Now what? So it's funny because I sat down and I thought to myself, all right, so if a client, because we did the show about intuition a couple weeks ago. So if a client sat down in front of me and said, nothing in my life makes sense, now what? And this is what came through intuitively. And the first word was congratulations. And I thought people are going to be like, turn this bitch off. She crazy. But I am trusting. So it's congratulations. When you wake up one day and realize your life no longer makes sense, you are actually in the perfect place. We know it may not feel perfect, but hear us out. This is an excellent opportunity for you to pause and take inventory of where you're focusing your energy and if it's worthy of such focus. So it's an opportunity for you to reevaluate your priorities. It's an opportunity for you to examine your belief systems and decide if you still believe them to be beneficial and true or not. It's an opportunity for you to create experiences that do make sense to you. And it's an opportunity for you to choose peace over perfection, love over fear, truth over lies, authenticity over fake, and presence over performance. And this being the Be Here Now show, you know that we're all about presence.
You know, it's interesting is when I was thinking what this topic meant to me and in trying to have meaningful conversation, the thing that came to me was when I feel like nothing makes sense, actually, I am more in the present than I usually am. And that is a good thing because in my wanting to fight to be here now, fight from being here now, I shut down and I don't have these, oh my gosh, if nothing makes sense feelings. But what if I am thinking, this nothing makes sense? I'm started. I'm present and it's time to do, I can do work.
Yes.
So that's what I thought of. And that goes right along with what you're saying.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And you know why? Because both of us have experienced this. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing the show that we've done. We wouldn't have been able to heal along our journey. Because I know for me that I was living in autopilot, not really paying attention to any really things that were going on around me. I was just focused on surviving, getting to work, taking care of the kid, doing all of the things that need to be done, like a robot.
I was just going to say, I think the furthest I got thinking about this years ago is just, it's like I'm a robot. It's like, I think we're all robots.
Uh-huh.
That's exactly the word, robot.
Exactly. And, initially thinking about this, it was like, nothing makes sense. Everything's so horrible. But for me, when I was finally like, hey, none of this makes sense, was because I had a lot of things in my life that I had always dreamed of having. And I wasn't experiencing the happiness and the joy of having it all. I didn't think I'd be a mother. I was a mother. I was in a long-term relationship. I had a home. I had a good job. All these things, all of the things that society says you should be happy for, I was not. So that's when I was like, none of this makes sense. What's going on?
It's true.
Yeah. So it was funny because my initial thoughts about all this was, when was my life so horrible that I woke up and thought none of this makes sense? And it wasn't. It was like, my life is really good and I'm not feeling the joy that I should be feeling. I shoulded myself.
I was just going to say the should word.
Shoulded myself, Janice.
Yeah. Hate it when that happens.
Yes, I hate it too. It's messy.
Yep.
So, one of the first things that came through, because I'm always about very practical things that I need to do. If everything's confused in my brain and nothing is making sense, one of the first things I learned to go to was making a list. So if we can hit that next slide, Severia, that'd be great. Because this is, where do we start? And it's about, make a list of things in your life that no longer make sense. So what are all the things in your life that don't make sense? And it's very important that we allow ourselves the time to write these things down, because it's something, it's connected. The physicality of handwriting it out helps pull it out of your brain. And when you can see it on the paper, you know, a lot of our mind and works with images. And when we can see it in print, it makes it that much more real. So when we can make this list of all the things that no longer make sense, that's where we start. And then from that list, go ahead, Janice.
I have such a hard time doing that. And I think it's because it's too much of a commitment to being present. If I'm going to write this down, I'm going to have to be present for that long.
Uh-huh. But
Okay.
you know what? The best thing is, Janice, you do it in a way that's right and perfect for you.
Yeah.
So if you can only sit and write 2 things down and you need to take a break, you take a break. Come back to it. You know, presence is something that has, it's like a muscle. We have to be able to give ourselves grace, because so much of our lives have been spent not being present. We've spent so much of our lives living in that autopilot.
You know, and what I am just with right now is, I'm not a terrible person, and I'm not the only one, because that's one of the things that I think is terrible about me, and that it's my dark secret. Okay.
No, you are not the only one, and you are not a terrible person. Being present is something that has to, I mean, you have to work at it. You have to work at it, because again, it's not something that's been encouraged. Distraction is something, it's all around us. Look here, look here, look here, read this, look at that. You know, it's everywhere around us, because distracted people are focused on surviving.
Yeah. I mean, just like look at the attention span of our society, this world today, you know, the 3 seconds, no, 30, you can't, the best video is going to be under 30 seconds or something. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. They're like, if you don't grab them in the first 5 seconds, then they're moving on.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So here on our show, we challenge you to stay present with us.
Yeah. At least for more than 30 seconds, or how many seconds? 5 seconds, more than 5 seconds.
Exactly. Please. So yes.
If you've made it this far, you've been successful. So yeah.
Exactly. You've made it this far. Woohoo! Good job. It doesn't make you a bad person if you've had to pause or your mind has traveled somewhere else. Just come on back with us.
I listened to a podcast while I was doing something the other day, and I said, see, I can't even listen to a podcast. I'm like, oh, no, Janice, look at you. You can't even, when you're doing something good for yourself, you still beat yourself up, you know?
And that's what we're working on.
But you know what? I am successful in that for 45 minutes a week, except last week, it can focus on being here now.
Yes. And yeah, it's that muscle. You're working it out.
And you track what you think. So that's what I'm trying to do. That was an example of. I was trying to model that for myself.
I love it. Now, it's important. I'm glad you brought this up, because it's really important that when you sit down to make this list, that you don't judge yourself. There's you don't judge yourself or others, because, you know, things that don't make sense aren't only about you. It can be about family members. It can be about friends. It can be about your community. It can be about the world. Nothing in the world makes sense to me right now.
I don't know if I'd want to go there. No, that's about attracting things, I guess.
I don't even want to.
Yeah. Okay.
So the important thing is no judgments, no shaming, no blaming, no guilt, no resentment. This is a fact gathering exercise.
Okay.
Okay? So you be kind to you.
Okay, Judy. Okay.
You be kind. So
I'll try.
we're going to make that list. And then from that list of things that don't make sense to you anymore, you're going to make 2 more lists. You're going to make a list of things you can control and make a list of things that you cannot control.
Okay.
Okay. And then, yes, there's even more, Janice.
But do I don't have to do this all at one sitting, right?
You do not. You
Okay.
put whatever pace you need for you to be present. And then from the list of things that you cannot control, what are the things that are above your pay grade?
Ooh.
What are the things that are above your pay grade? And it doesn't matter what you do, you cannot change the experience. You're going to make a list of those things. Okay. And then you're going to take what's left. The list of things that you can't control, but they have to stay. Say, for instance, I don't like my mother-in-law. She tries to undermine my relationship with my husband, but it's my husband's mother and I can't get rid of her.
Well, I would argue this. I haven't seen my mother-in-law in about 20 years. So there you go.
Okay. So that's not one of yours. This was
No.
just an example.
That.
Okay. And then you're going to take that list of things that have to stay and you're going to put it next to your list of things that you can control. All right. Then we're going to access our little 2-year-old and we're going to take each item on the list and we're going to ask why. Why? Why?
We're gonna ask why we can't control it.
Yes, we're going to ask things that you can control. Okay, so why doesn't it make sense?
Oh, I get it.
You're going to ask why it doesn't make sense to you.
Okay.
Okay. You're going to dig in and ask those questions. Because here you've gone from this big old, my life doesn't make sense. We've been able to zero in and narrow the focus. We have gotten rid of things that we can't control, that do not matter. We're giving ourselves permission to take it off our plate. That we give to God, the universe, whatever. Handle it. It's above our pay grade. I love my husband, so my mother-in-law is a part of my life because he loves his mother. Therefore, I'm going to have to deal with her. Why is it she bothers me? Why is it she gets under my skin? Why is it I feel our relationship needs to be a certain way? So get curious. Get really, really curious. It's funny because when I heard "get curious," all I could hear was Olivia Newton-John. Let's get curious.
Curious. I want to get curious. I have to say, we didn't talk about this ahead of time. I thought the same thing.
Did you? Perfect. So yes, get really curious and just start digging in and asking the whys. And then
I did something similar, like when I'm just feeling overwhelmed, like with work things.
Mm-hmm.
Just sitting down and so this is a great tool. Not just for this, but for a lot of things. I like this. This is very good. Keep going. You have my permission to continue.
Well, thank you. So yeah, when we're curious and we're asking the questions why, what that does is brings forward anything. When we start listening to our answers, when we start writing them down and seeing them, then we can look for pattern recognition. Like, what are the patterns here? I'm having this issue with this person. I'm having this issue with this experience and blah, 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 blah. What are they trying to teach me? What are they trying to teach me? I had a big aha moment last week with myself because 3 years ago, something had happened and this person had lashed out at me and basically called me a worthless piece of shit. And I was dealing. I thought I had dealt with it then, but it was something that kept coming up over and over and over again. And I found myself just really angry at this person again. And Chris Burke, the one that I used to do the show with, her and I were talking about it. And she said to me, all right, Judy, well, it's happening. It's coming up. What is it trying to teach you? What is it trying to tell you? And I was like, I don't know. And she's like, there's a part of you that still believes what that person said to you. That's why you're angry about it, because there's a part of you that still believes it.
Wow.
So I know, right? So what I did was I took my face and put it on that person and pictured myself saying those things to me.
Wow.
And I was like, do I still believe that? And the answer is no, I don't believe that anymore. So I was able to confront it and make the choice. I'm not going to continue to live in that because it's not true anymore. So like that, I was able to let it go. Every experience and interaction is an opportunity for us to learn. We're either reflecting on back to them, the lesson for them, or they are reflecting to us, the lesson for us. So just that shift in mindset, like, is there a part of, ever since then, something comes up and I was like, is there a part of me that still believes that? So I ask myself that question now. And that is extremely helpful. So as you're moving through your list and you're asking the questions, why? One of those questions is, what is this here to teach me? Now, remember, these are just the things that you feel like you can control, and the things that are on your list that I can't control, but have to stay. Because the things that you can't control, but need to stay, that's a shift in perspective. And the only way you can get a shift in perspective and approach is by digging in and asking the questions. So, lists and questions are a great way to get things out of your head and in front of your eyes. It helps organize the confusion in your mind and brings awareness to where you are focusing your energy. When nothing makes sense on the outside, go within, sort through the patterns and belief systems that direct your life. With awareness, you realize you have the power of choice. And once you realize you have the power of choice, you will unlock doors that lead you to freedoms you never knew you wanted. Because I know for me, I very much felt like I was the victim of my circumstances. And it wasn't until I laid all this out in front of me, took off my plate the stuff that I had no business worrying about or even focusing my energy on, because it was above my pay grade. That cleared a lot off my plate. And then what I had left was me, my approach to things.
Wow.
Yeah.
It makes me think, one of the things that happens to me is failure or feeling worthlessness, whatever. And I've come so far in my journey, but still these things come up. And I have a few stories like in my life that I failed, and I still go back to them. I mean, why would I still be thinking about in 1992 when I lost this job, and why, but that's the whole thing is, I mean, it's not on the list, but that's it. That is a pattern I have. It keeps coming up. It's just remembering things that I've failed at. And so that's why, why do I?
Yeah. Why do you?
Yeah, I do. Part of me believes it still. So that's probably why. So let's we'll still work on what that represents, which is my feelings of worthlessness as opposed to I'm a failure.
Okay. Yeah. Pattern recognition is huge, because not only are there patterns that we acquired for survival, but there are patterns that we inherited from our parents and the people around us, as well as social influences. So when we see what we're dealing with, when we see the truth of it, that's where all freedoms open up, because it allows us to take responsibility, own it, If we want different experiences, we got to show up differently. How do we show up differently? We have to understand how we're showing up now. So that clarity, that foundation of getting curious is, I would like to say it's fun, not always easy, but always worth it. And we joke a lot about having a twisted idea of what fun is. When we can, when we can dig.
Okay.
When we can dig deep and the tears come and there's clarity at the end, like, that's fun. We went through this process and we allowed ourselves to feel the emotions that we didn't allow ourselves to feel in the past, and look at how this has completely rewritten the story. That's fun. Now,
That reminds me of last week or week before. I was talking to you and I said, you asked how my week was. I said, it was a good week. Did you have fun? I was like, no, it wasn't fun. But it didn't dawn on me that what I was describing to you and what I was feeling was actually a positive feeling and was fun. Because I think it's only fun if you're laughing. We're sitting there by myself doing these things. I wasn't having fun. Maybe I could have a different word, but I don't know.
Was it enjoyable?
Yeah, here we go.
And see, it's like, okay, you think laughing means fun. Can anything else mean fun? Indicate fun to you? I don't know. That's where we get curious and start asking ourselves.
I'll work on that. I don't know the answer.
Yeah. And it's not about having all the answers right away, but it's that just the act of starting to ask the questions and being curious. And it's difficult to dig into this kind of stuff and not judge yourself or judge others. It's difficult not to feel shame and blame and things like that. So that's where the big word grace comes in. Give yourself grace, because a lot of the survival techniques and everything that we've acquired was to avoid feeling these feelings that we're now starting to unearth. So it's about giving yourself grace as you move through this. And you move at a pace that is right and perfect for you. That is super important. Super important. And through this journey, there have been times periodically throughout all of it where we're confused again. Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. That indicates to me that I'm too much in my head and not enough in my heart. Things are unbalanced again. I'm mind fucking myself. So pause, breathe, get present, drop into your heart. Get curious.
You said that too, and I really like that when you said once that I'm in my head instead of in my heart, and I was like, oh, that's definitely true for me, like way too much. So that's a good lesson. Be in your heart.
Good. All right, we're gonna wrap that up for now. If anybody has any questions, comments, whatever they'd like to share, that would be lovely. And we're going to move on to Janice wants to give you something to chew on before we part ways.
Yes. So something to chew. I think I can see it. Big. This thing's big enough. Yeah. There we go. I'm going to do a little disclaimer after this, but what if you could relive a situation from your past and handle it with more courage and honor? What event would it be, and how would your actions change? It's just, I don't think in my past, I have handled things with courage and honor. So I think that, but then I said, well, then you're thinking negative. So try, Janice. So why did you put this one up there? Because you want to attract what you're thinking. So what I'm thinking is handle things with courage and honor.
Yes. And it's interesting because when I read it, I thought, all right, this is cool because it's not about disliking or whatever. That's the unhealed, wounded part of you that experienced something in the past. And now with the work that you've done and the awareness that you have and understanding that courage and honor comes with awareness, the healed version of Janice, what would she do differently in that event? And it's not about belittling or shaming, blaming the Janice that you were, but knowing what you know now, what would you do differently?
That's true.
Yeah. So that's how I took it. I think it's a great thing to think about, because everybody is different than what, who I was when I was in my 20s.
I think I let myself be the doormat so much that, that's what I would do, is if I could just have left this, or in the future, make sure I leave with courage and honor.
Yeah. Yeah. We're recovering people pleasers. We've said it before.
Yep.
So when doing that, we accept crumbs because we believe that's all we're ever going to get. We don't believe that anymore.
No, we don't.
So it allows us to show up differently. Excellent. Okay. That's it for today, folks. Janice, we're glad you got all worked out and sorted out with your microphone, and we're back to join us.
Me too. That's my favorite part, is talking about that too.
You continue to heal with ease and grace.
Thank you.
And we will definitely see you again next week. Silverio, thank you. And thank everybody for joining us today. Thank you for choosing to be here now with us. Please always remember,
give yourself grace.
Yes. And you are awesome.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Sharing, listening.